Hey y'all, good evening. Let's see if I can get this thing situated. Get this thing turned up. How is everybody doing this evening? Share this to my last quarter group. Okay. Alright, so I just wanted to come on real quick and share 3 things with you that I've learned so far in my my last 90-day challenge that I'm doing for myself. So I wanted to come on and do that real quick this evening and just kind of spend a couple minutes talking to you real quick before I get ready for bedtime. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Sherry Wiggins, and I'm a grandmom of 3, and a teacher, an entrepreneur, and I am going through a 90-day challenge. I'm actually going through a couple 90-day challenges. One is a fitness and weight loss challenge, where I'm kind of following Rachel Hollis's 90-day plan for the last 90 days of 2019. And so instead of giving up one specific food group, I'm kind of doing the whole lazy keto, my keto thing. And I'm really doing actually not really a true lazy keto thing. I'm really actually tracking my macros. And I'll get into that in just a minute. You know, using an app, which has turned out to be a really good thing for me. And I can share that with you in the comments. But if you're joining me live this evening, put me a 1 down in the comments if you will. Please, if you're watching this later on tonight or tomorrow on the replay, drop me a 2. And I just want to thank y'all that are watching for hopping on this evening. But I've already learned some things. It's only been officially day 2 because I started on Tuesday. And so I wanted to come on and share with you just a few minutes. Three things I've already learned just being on this journey in a couple of days. And you know, when I set out to do this thing, I figured it was going to be extremely hard. And refreshingly, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, the key to this thing has definitely been the tracking. Excuse me, that's my stupid notation on my computer. So the Sensa app, and I can drop that in the comments for you in just a little bit. The Sensa app has really been very, very helpful. Most people, when they start some sort of a program or, you know, track calories, I don't really track calories at all. I'm really looking at 3 things. I'm looking at net carbs, which is your total carb count minus fiber. So that gives you your net carb count. I'm also looking at protein, and I'm also looking at fat, because the thing with this keto journey is you want to reduce your carb content so that you are in ketosis, which is the burning of fat, stored fat specifically, and you're wanting to, and it's crazy, you're wanting to eat good fat, okay, and you want to make sure you eat enough protein. So the number one thing so far is that you really want to make sure that you're tracking what you're doing. So those 3 things together, the net carbs, the protein, and the fats, are called your macros. Now, I did, when I set up my app, I did like a small little questionnaire. And my small little questionnaire helped me set up what my macro count should be, like the total number of net carbs, how many grams of that should be, which is 25. And my goal was between 25 and 30 every day, which I know sounds like not a lot. And it's not. It's a lot less carbs than I've ever had before. There's protein, and there's healthy fats, like, you know, just a more healthy fat, not a processed fat. So the biggest thing is the tracking, and like I said, using this app called Sensa, and like I said, again, I can drop that in the comments for you, does help me keep me focused on what I've eaten throughout the day. Because every time I can go in there into my app and I can either search by barcode, or I can type it in, or if it's something that I had like yesterday, I can just hit my little check mark button and add it real quick. So tracking actually, for me, helps me out a lot because it helps me to stay focused on where I am throughout the day. And again, helps me stay on track with and to meet my goals every day. And so you want to have something, some tool, even if you don't use the Sense app, but you want to have some carb tracker app, some sort of a tool like that to help you stay on track to meet your daily goals, to make sure that you don't, go over your scheduled allotment for the day. So that's one thing that I've noticed. Number two, one of my goals is to drink half my body weight in ounces per day, and I'm not there yet, but and I don't have one of those with me. But the big 32-ounce bottles of water, I fill those up 3 times a day. So I'm pretty close to where I'm supposed to be with my water content. And the biggest help that I've noticed so far is if I will keep my water bottle on my desk at school, which is where it is right now, on my desk at school, it'll remind me to make sure that I drink my water throughout the day. Like I drink my water in the morning, get up in the morning, and I drink a bottle of water, and then I do another one throughout the day, and another one again about 3 o'clock. And then I'll have a little bit of water, probably about 16.9 ounces, 18 ounces after supper and before I go to bed. So I'm getting in probably between 100 and 110 ounces a day. So yes, I'm going to the bathroom a lot. But that's okay. Because it's flushing the body out and helping me to flush some fat cells. Because that's part of what the water does, is it helps to actually shrink the fat cells. But anyway, keeping the water bottle there in front of me helps me to kind of stay on track, because I can watch, hey, I need to be drinking my water, get my water in. And the third thing that I've noticed is, when I started out getting ready for this thing, I was trying to figure out, too, how many carbs I was going to have per day. And so, like I said, I used the app to kind of help figure that out for me, so I didn't have to do that by myself. And I would tell you, you have to be very careful about choosing healthy stuff, to make sure that there's no hidden carbs in there. Some labels will switch out some type of sugars for another type, so you have to be careful that you make sure that you look at the total carb content, then you look at the fiber, because fiber again takes away from your overall carbs to arrive at your net carb value. So you want to make sure that you're reading your labels and making sure that there's no other hidden carbs, kind of stuck in there somewhere. Because sometimes, like even with stevia, for example, stevia is a better alternative for sugar. And it's also kind of a better alternative for artificial sugar like aspartame or sucralose, which is Splenda, aspartame, all that kind of stuff. But it does have some carb content too. So why it's better for you if you're going to use it for your iced tea, or for your lemonade or something like that, you got to be very careful to make sure you count those. And again, you're looking at number of net carbs per serving. So if you've got one of those bottles of the BAI, which is like the blueberry, I really like it, and there's also a strawberry lemonade that I like a lot, then you've got to make sure that you're looking at the number of carbs per serving, because there's actually 2 servings in that one bottle. And if you drink the whole bottle, then you've got to make sure you count it for you. Like I said, again, if you're using your app or using some sort of a tool to keep track of your carbs, keep track of your macros, you're going to record it. And so as you record it and be honest with yourself, then you can go in there and you'll know how many net carbs you consumed, and you can kind of stay on track. Like when I get to the midpoint of the afternoon, like 4 o'clock, 4:30, when it's time for me to get ready to start fixing supper, then I can start making better choices about what I have. I want to make sure I have a nice protein. Like tonight we had pork tenderloin. I did have some baby llamas tonight, but I only had probably a good tablespoon or 2 tablespoons full. And I counted that. I even got to have ranch dressing over the top of my pork tenderloin, which is actually no carbs. So you can get away with doing, a low carb, lazy keto. Now the lazy keto term comes from the fact that you don't track all the macros, you just track just net carbs. But I've been doing some reading, and they tell me that if you will track all 3 of those, because again, depending upon your body type, like I'm over 40, I'm female, I'm not menopausal, but I'm premenopausal, but I've also had a partial hysterectomy too, then I need to make sure that I am doing like a 40, 30, 30 kind of ratio, carbs to protein to fat, to make sure that I am getting my macros just right. So I'm kind of educating myself on this whole process about the carbs to protein to fat ratio. But again, it just goes back to tracking. It goes back to using a tool or an app. And I like the Sense app. My friend Kelly Parker told me about that. And so, and I can drop a picture of the app that I use in the comments whenever we finish. And I'm just curious, is anybody else out there doing keto or lazy keto or have any other successes that they would like to share with me? This app also does a good job of sharing different recipes, while I'm just not really ready to cook just for myself, because Abby would totally just have a fit. I am curious about, being more creative with my food and being creative with looking at ways to reduce my carb content, and so I can stay on track, but also eating, eating, because I'm a foodie. I love to eat, okay? I enjoy the cooking process. I enjoy the eating process. I don't necessarily like the cleaning up process, but I enjoy it a lot. So I'm a foodie, so I like to try new things. I don't like my food to touch, but I like trying new things. So, but yeah, it's been a journey. I've already lost 4 pounds since Tuesday. A lot of that's probably water weight, and which is okay because it's still weight. And I decided earlier today, that I'm actually going to probably just weigh a couple times a week, just to kind of check my progress and to see how I'm doing, just to kind of stay on track and see how things are going. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and share with y'all tonight just about the 3 things that I've kind of noticed already so far. And again, the tracking with the app really helps a lot. Getting my water in, having my water bottle there in front of me throughout the day kind of reminds me to make sure I get my water in. And like I said, just reading labels and checking labels and being aware of serving size and being aware of what you're actually consuming, and being just being more informed and seeing how things are going. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else out there is doing anything with the keto or has any keto success. If you have any keto success or any recipes that you'd like to share with me, please drop them in the comments below. If you have any food tips or any tips on water, on exercise, I am going to the gym and getting on the exercise bike for 30 minutes a day. And I'll do that 6 days a week. And of course now I don't really get all of my steps in. I'm getting between 5,000 and 7,000 steps in a day, plus my exercise, so I'm getting pretty good exercise. But again, just kind of keeping up with everything and kind of keeping track of what's going on and paying attention to my body and just, being, more aware of everything. So just wanted to come on this evening and give you guys a quick update and just kind of share what's going on with me. So I hope you guys are having a good night, and thanks for tuning in. See you soon.